In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show, proudly brought to you by FanDuel. I am Rusty Buckets, your co-host, and no, it's not a mirage. It's not a fake image. It's not even a Kevin Durant burner account. It is the one, the only man, myth, and legend, Drew Gann, a.k.a. Uncle Buck, back where he belongs. Drew Gann, how you doing, buddy?
What did I miss? Let me tell you, y'all didn't miss anything if y'all were in Tippah County since January 24th. I can tell you that. It hit the fan, and I've always said on this show, like, I love this show. It is my favorite hobby. It's my favorite thing that I do outside of my family activities. But I have to go with the folks that pay the bills. And buddy, the bills came, dude. Ice Storm Fern wrecked Tippah County, and for about 13, anywhere from 12 to 14, sometimes 15 hours a day since January 24th. Your buddy's been trying to get the lights back on. And listen, as bad as it was, the reason why I couldn't podcast was because I didn't even get a lunch break. We worked so much that they just delivered food to our desk and was like, you just keep going. This wheel has to keep turning, and you're the hamster. So get to kicking. And we did.
Uncle Buck is in his stretchy pants, if you can't tell right now, because they had all his good food brought to him, hanging out with him. And hey, listen, man, I appreciate what you did. You are a true hero. I'd never say this to your face, but I look up to you for the hard work you put in for the last few weeks. You and your coworkers, your linemen, y'all truly are heroes after this storm, man. Y'all really crushed that. I'm proud of you. Proud to call you a friend. Shout out to Wayno and guys who filled in. Wayno did an awesome job over the last couple of weeks, but I'm glad you're back, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, appreciate all that. Listen, the linemen should get all the credit. They're the ones that's out in it and doing the dangerous work. I was the man in the chair, to use a Spider-Man reference. You know, I was Ned in Spider-Man. I was the man in the chair and directing and orchestrating. The dudes out on the front line should get all the credit, but not as much. And I will say this right now in public. I'll look in the camera as I say it. The real MVP is my wife. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. We had a 12-day-old kid when the power went out, and a biblical ice storm rained down upon Tippah County. And I think the total ended up being, let's see, the 24th, 7 plus 14, 21 days straight. She did it by herself with a newborn. and rarely complained about it, because she's like, she knew we were doing important work and that people needed us. And so she tried to keep the complaints to herself, which helped out a lot. And I mean, she was just a champion throughout all this. She's the best.
Shout out to Mama Gann there for holding down the fort there in Ripley while Drew was out in the hills and hollers. Basically sitting at his desk punching buttons, but still working hard, being a Power Ranger, man. Again, you don't think about the families. I know there was a lineman in Alcorn County that got injured really bad, and I believe lost both upper extremities.
Tishomingo County. Yeah.
Tishomingo County lost both upper extremities. You don't really realize, the weight that some of this has on the families as well. Yeah. And so to your wife and all the wives out there of the linemen, we told y'all before this hit the fan, I was still in an old podcasting studio. Like, if you see linemen, linemen, treat them well, give them some food, make them some coffee, because it's going to be a long few weeks for them and their family. And we were spot on with that.
Yeah, it was worse than I expected. It was definitely worse than I expected. But looking back on it now, I think the thing I'm most thankful for is that we had lots of contractors. We had lots of help that came. I think at one point we had 200 additional linemen and crews on our system helping us restore power, and everybody went home healthy and safe. And that's all you can hope for.
That's all you can hope for sure. Well, Drew and I are no longer islands in the stream. We are now in the StreamYard together, hanging out, doing the show. And we've already kind of beat around the bush.
Up in that one for a long time, haven't you?
I have been. That was the first one that came to mind.
I can't wait till Drew comes back. I'm going to hit him with this Dolly Parton reference.
Absolutely. It's going to be the first one that I use is when Drew comes back. But we are no longer islands in the stream. We've already been catching up a little bit, so we might as well go ahead and dive into everybody's favorite waste of time in our first segment of the week.
All right, we are the Two Bucks. It's Monday, and we're together, which that means we have to catch up. And, buddy, we've got some catching up to do. And if there's ever been a time where we do multiple points on our Best in Beef segment, it would be today. But we're going to keep it brief and keep it within the lunch hour for everybody. And
we'll try.
We'll try. We recap our friendship and what happened to us over the weekend, and we do it in two segments. Our best thing that happened to us this weekend and our biggest beef of the weekend. We always do it on Monday's show. It's brought to you by Donna's Italian Beef. Russ, tell me about Donna's Italian Beef and tell me the best thing that happened to you this weekend.
Yeah, real quick shout out David Owens. Yes, this is live. We were pre-recorded. Jared and I were on Friday out drinking whiskey neat at 11 a.m. talking college baseball. Today, this is confirmed coffee as I am. Yeah. I am. Yeah, that's it. That's what it was. But I am drinking coffee today, as I do have some work stuff to do. Whiskey neat will come later. But Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. Drew, I have it on good authority that we have a biscuit named after us at Donna's Italian Beef.
Oh, yeah?
If you go and you order the $2, it is a biscuit with a slug patty, egg, cheese, and bacon on it. Shout out to Jim and the gang for a slug biscuit with bacon, egg, and cheese on it. Call the $2. Awesome. Go check it out, man. Come on.
That sounds awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have a biscuit named after us, and if you go
Mama
tell them,
made it.
That's it. That's it. It's a $2 and it's a $2 biscuit. Like, you can't argue with that. Go see Jim and the gang at Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive. Tell them the $2 sent you and get the $2 for breakfast. So other than having a biscuit named after me, which is that's going at the top of my resume. Right. Like, from henceforth, the top thing on my resume is biscuit named after us. Like, that's what it is. It was a good weekend. Maggie and I did celebrate 2 years yesterday. We got to go. David, if you go, I'll buy you lunch, man. I'm telling you, like, you hit me up, I'll Venmo you. I'll buy you lunch if you go to Don's Italian Beef.
Where do you live, David?
Yeah, because you're talking about coming through Tippa, through Iuka. Like, where do you live? That's
He's from Sheffield, Alabama. I'm calling it.
Oh, if he's from Florence, that would be right on cue. I got a ton of family around Florence, so he may not need to know that you're from Florence. Let's put it that way. But no, it was a good weekend celebrating 2 years of Maggie. We did an escape room yesterday, dinner at Coastal. If you know, great spot in Memphis. Finish up the wall back here, Danville, Alabama, little known spot, Danville, Alabama.
That sounds like a country song right there.
Yeah. the podcast studio here with the Grizz head, a picture from Salem, Massachusetts, our Wayno print, the growl towel, my towel, got some Harry Potter stuff. Like,
keep going, keep going. Leave it there.
Yeah,
leave the
we'll do the rest of the show like this because this is the best angle. But yeah, like it was a good weekend, just celebrating us and just hanging out. It was kind of rainy, so we were inside most of the weekend. I mean, like just celebrating 2 years with her. That's a long time to put up with me, as you can attest, Uncle Buck. But shout out to Maggie for a wonderful 2 years, a wonderful weekend of celebrating together. Obviously got to be my best of the weekend.
Yeah. Listen, I think my best of the weekend was just not working. That's all I've done for so long. And Saturday at 2:00, we weren't expecting to have to work on Saturday. We thought we were going to be done, around 7, 8, 9 o'clock Friday night. But some stuff kept popping up, which is kind of how it happens when you've got that many people out of power. And so we ended up having to work Saturday morning. And I got off at like 2:00 Saturday, and I walked in the door, and the whole family just looked at me like, "Are you off?" And I was like, I'm off. And there were cheers and everything else. And like everybody just ran and came and hugged me. And it was like I was able to, at least for a weekend or day and a half, close the book to Winter Storm Fern. And the family and I, well, first I went and took a nap. that was number one. And buddy, I slept like a dead man. I woke up like, what day is it? She was like, it's only been an hour. And I was like, oh, okay. And
hang on real quick. David Owens in here dropping some bangers in here. From Danville, 30 minutes east of Shoals, heading towards Huntsville. Jesse Owens is from Danville, but shockingly not related to David.
I can't tell from the picture. So Saturday night, we just loaded the kids up, and I looked at Haley and I was like, I want to do something fun with the kids, and I want to be I want to get all the credit. That's where I was at. I was like, I'm going to do this, and we're going to do it, and I want all the credit because I haven't been seen in a long time, and so I want all the credit. So we took the kids to a little place in Corinth that has a bunch of like ball pits and stuff like that for like the little kids especially, and we just went out. We ate Mexican food, and we went out and let the kids run and have fun, had a good time. And then me and Haley got to do Valentine's Day yesterday. So we dropped all the kids off at my mom's house, which is the first time me and her actually gotten away. We just went to Marshall's and stuff. Did married stuff for people in their 30s now, and I guess, and I want to say this too, probably the best thing is that I went to my sister's new house. My sister has now moved back to Corinth, Mississippi from Mobile.
Oh, yeah.
So my baby sister is close now too with my nieces, and my brother-in-law is moving back soon as he finishes up his stint in the National Guard. So it's good weekend.
Yeah. It's hard to find a beef, honestly. Like it was a good weekend. It was low key. Was productive. I got my home gym coming together. Like it was a good weekend. I guess if I had to have a beef, I mean, we still got to talk about these Memphis Grizzlies, even though they don't play again until Friday.
What are you talking about? The last time I talked about the Grizzlies, the Joshus was awesome in London. What happened?
Yeah,
I can't wait for the Grizzlies to come back. I got my Jared jersey ready to go. Everybody's still here, right?
Oh, buddy, do we have a segment coming up for you? But no, I mean, truly, like I get like no real beef around here, and I know that's kind of a lame cop out, but things are going really well right now. Yeah. I've got work's going well. College baseball is back. Maggie, plug your ears. That might be my real best of the week. College baseball is back in full swing.
She doesn't listen.
No, I was able to watch. She actually does. She listens to a lot of our shows. Maybe not all of them, but the vast majority. But I did have on Saturday. I had the 4-panel thing going, and I had some college baseball, some college basketball. So, I mean, it's hard to find a beef in a weekend like that. How about you? You got any beefs other than working for the last 60 days?
My beef is a funny story. I've shared this with Rusty in a just venting. But one of the scariest aspects of freezing rain, in which we got 1.5 inches of freezing rain, which is just nuclear level damages, is that I'm at work, okay, because the lights went out, and my wife and kids are at home, and all they're hearing are trees snapping. And branches snapping, falling to the ground. It's pretty scary stuff. We've got 2 75-year-old pin oak trees in our front yard, and we don't have much of a front yard. And so every time that something snapped, she was bracing for impact. And so that was scary. And so
Mhm.
she's always been married to these trees. I've always wanted to cut them because two large oak trees that close together in very little yard results in no grass. And I'm a man in my 30s who wants grass. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I've always tried to get them cut, and she's always been married to them. She finally was like, okay, we got to cut these trees down. I can't live like this. There's branches hanging down facing the ground where my kids play. And it's like, it'll kill somebody. Like, no, we got to get them down. So a man walked up to my front door, knocked on the door with my wife and kids there, offering services to cut down trees. And I called him and I was like, hey, are you doing any kind of deal for linemen and stuff? Power company employees that are not able to clean up their own yards right now. He's like, yeah, I'll cut you a deal. And he cut us a pretty sweet deal. And he came on a Friday and he didn't finish. There's two trees. He got one of them cut down and he asked for his money, half of his money. And I know it's a big no-no to pay somebody before it's done, but my logic was like, hey, he's done one tree, which is exactly half of the work. So I don't mind giving you the other half as long as you promise me you will be back on Monday. That's the deal. You've got my word. But he didn't show back up until I called him on Wednesday, and his number is going straight to voicemail. And there's still just tree limbs. It's just looking like they're just going to fall on a child or Ted at any time. We're keeping our kids out of the front yard, keeping the dog out of the front yard because we're scared to be out there. And I finally said, listen, you've got to get here. I need you here to do it. You promised me you'd be here Monday, whatever. So he shows up Thursday morning to cut these trees. And I'm looking around and I'm like, this dude didn't drive here. What? How did he even get here? And I see him for the first time because he's walking down the road. I'm going to check out a power line that's down. And I see him close to my house walking away from my house. And I'm like, you lost? What's going on? He's like, no, my chainsaw broke. I'm looking for a wrench. Now, the dude didn't bring his own tools. I mean, this is the caliber of person that not to speak ill of anybody, but he didn't have a tooth in his head, you know? And so I was like, okay, did you find one? He's like, yeah, I found one from a guy up here, knocked on the door. He let me borrow it and I'll bring it back to him. I was like, okay, whatever. So I get up there and he calls me at 4:30 and he calls me and he's like, I need my money. I was like, okay, I'll be home soon. You know, I'll come home. I just work around the corner. I'll come home, give you the rest of your money. And he's like, I've got to go cash this check, or else I can't make it home. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So I was like, are you done? He's like, no, I'm almost done, but I'm going to have to leave to go cash a check. Well, he's already left once and didn't come back. So I was like, not happening. Absolutely not happening. So I was like, I'll do you a solid. I'll go to the bank and I'll get some cash so that you can make your way, you know, after you're done. You don't have to leave or anything. The bank's closed. You know, there's no cash being gotten. So I just went out there and I was like, hey, you're not getting it. I'll cut you a check when you're done, but you're going to have to figure it out. So I get there, and you know how when they're cutting trees, and when they get to cut the main trunk down, they like chalk it. They've got these little triangle chalks they hit in there with a sledgehammer, and it keeps it falling one direction, basically.
Yep.
They didn't have that. They didn't have a hammer. They had taken little pieces of wood and was slamming into the tree trunk, knocking this little makeshift chalk into the gap in the wood using a tree limb, which when you drive up to your house, a very trafficked area, and you see a man who looks like he may or may not have done crack cocaine today, hitting your tree trunk with a tree limb, I was like, these guys can't be done quick enough. Like, you've got to stop this. This looks like the Beverly Hillbillies. Well, then the video I got was just, it was incredible. It looked like Neanderthals trying to knock a tree down 10,000 years ago. It's like the first attempt at ever cutting a tree down was doing what these people did.
100%.
And then he knocked on the door, collected his check, and then apparently walked home because when I came out, got in the truck, they were just had chainsaw and ropes in hand and was walking down the highway.
Wayno off the top rope here. So did you end up paying King Meek so he could get home?
No, much like David and Jesse, these guys were not related. There's something you could tell. Something about their looks. These were not. No,
that's amazing.
No, these were some meth heads.
Yeah, 100%. Drew said they're walking home and they're standing next to a warehouse, like just right down the road. And I was like, hell, they might be home already. What you mean walking home? That might be their home for today.
It was hilarious. It was just absolutely. I was like, and it was done at that point. So it was like, I'm not scared that they're going to break my house down. I was like, they're done. So now it's just funny. Like, I see this guy swinging a tree branch at the trunk of a tree and trying to make it fall. I don't know.
I mean, this is a step above running into trees when they first were knocking trees down. They've at least taken a step up.
Wayno says it looks like a YouTube clip of something about to go wrong. Everybody's seen those clips of people knocking trees down the wrong way and it landing on a house. These are the kind of people. And so 100%. Thankfully I didn't realize their habits until it was done.
Yeah, thankfully they didn't get in the way. But that's our best in beef segment of the week. It's our first segment every week, brought to you by Donald's Italian Beef. We come, we hang out, we catch up, and we have a good time with some buffoonery. Before we get into more buffoonery, that is Memphis Grizzlies basketball.
We are the Two Bucks, and this is our sports show, Monday edition of the show on Bluff City Media's YouTube and X page and Rusty's Facebook page for his grandparents. And we've done our buffoonery, we've done our tomfoolery, our shenanigans in our first segment. And listen, shenanigans roll over into our second segment because our second segment is the Memphis Grizzlies. And I asked ChatGPT before I got here, what has happened since the Grizzlies landed back from London, England, in which everybody was so excited.
Yeah.
Nothing bad could have happened. We kind of got our swagger back, right?
Right. Right. We traded a superstar, not the one everybody wanted to trade. Yeah, not that one. We traded another one. They got 3 first-round picks, and immediately he goes out for the year with yes, actually.
He got 3 first-round picks.
That's who Utah wanted in this trade. He fits the demographic. They wanted Jitty. We threw Jaren in as out of the kindness of our heart. But yeah, what a wild turn of events for you who missed a lot of Memphis Grizzlies basketball that culminated with the trade deadline, losing more games. But we did have a couple of players in the Rising Stars game over the weekend. Cam Spencer, Jalen Wells had a good game. Said did not play due to injury, but had the most hilarious Instagram post I've ever seen, where he said it had a picture of him in his Rising Stars uniform, and it said, still got an A in the group project because his team won, and he didn't. It was Hallie all over again from the Olympics. That just made me laugh. Shout out to Seth for a good sense of humor, Drew. But what a wild few weeks for the Memphis Grizzlies.
You know, I haven't gotten to speak to anybody since the trade deadline came and passed, and we didn't trade Ja. I was stunned that we didn't trade Ja. And listen, time has ticked on since then. I mean, it's been 11 days since the trade deadline, and I was pretty spicy over not trading Ja. I think I came on the Two Buck Sports Show right after they traded Jaren the day before the trade deadline, and said basically I was always in the camp of hold Ja until you can get his value, no matter when it is. I didn't expect it to lead to Jaren's departure. And so now you've just got to trade Ja for anything. And I was kind of pretty heated over the fact that we didn't trade Ja, but we traded Jaren. I didn't really understand the point of trading Jaren if we're not going to trade Ja. Time is kind of tamped down a little bit, but I still, in my core, feel that way. I mean, I don't really understand why you traded Jaren at this point, especially if Ja's going to play. Like, you can listen to Zach Kleiman and say that this is injury related, and it will only be injury related whether or not Ja plays again this season or not. I don't know if I buy it or not, but if Ja steps out on the court, I'm going to be mad again. Because I know Ja Morant's good at playing basketball. I know he will be good playing basketball wherever he goes next. And if they allow him to step on the court and play well, I'm going to be so angry all over again that Jaren Jackson Jr. is not on this team.
Yeah, agreed, because we know what John Morant can do. And then I'm going to be angry all over again because why are we playing a trade asset who has a propensity of getting hurt, shenanigan? Again, played more than 7 games in 3 consecutive seasons. So why are we going to risk him going out there and getting hurt once again and then further damaging his trade value? I don't know how it can get worse than negative trade value to the tune of 2 picks to get you out of here. Values always go up in the summer. There might be a world where we can score maybe 1 pick this summer heading into the draft. Maybe he's a part of a deal where we're moving up in the draft, but as a salary dump somewhere like Sacramento, whatever. But again, it just I'm upset about trading Jaren and not trading Josh. / I'm also going to give credit where credit's due to Zach Kleiman for standing on business and not just giving Ja Morant away like he said he wasn't going to. He's always kind of stood by that Ja's not going to go away for nothing. And so kudos to ZK for that, but he's got to be gone this summer. You can't be talking about organizational direction and a reset and a rebuild and heading out into a new future with the most malcontent player in the history of the franchise. It just doesn't work.
No, I mean, I get it. I do get all that. I just see a recipe for disaster here, and that disaster would be Ja Morant playing basketball and being awesome. And then, that in itself is not a disaster except for the fact that you've just traded away Jaren. And there's just nothing there anymore to build a good team around Ja. So I just listen, there's a real quandary that Zach Kleiman is in now. And you didn't trade Ja Morant, and this is the case as to why you would play Ja Morant, to play devil's advocate. And I tried to do this in a group chat with you one day, and I think it felt like I was stumping for Ja playing again. But I just know Zach Kleiman, if the reason that Ja Morant did not get traded is because his trade value sucks, then the best way to boost trade value is to play him and hope that he stays healthy.
I mean, it's fair.
And then you get a better trade value. Well, then that works against the mission at this point, which is losing games. And then you fall back in love with Ja Morant and you do this whole song and dance again. It's like, oh, wait, you remember when he was a top 5 point guard in the NBA? I see that now. And now you've traded away Jaren for not for nothing, but you've traded away Jaren for a rebuild that you can only halfway do now because you've fallen back in love with Ja Morant.
And that's the thing. That's what, like, these Ja stands and faceless accounts and all these people are going to, like, that's the problem, is they're going to see this as Ja as part of the future, and he's just not. And I don't want him to be a part of the future because I want a guy much like a Cedric Coward or an Anthony Edwards to start looking at other teams like who are just competitors, who just go out, compete. They just play ball. We don't get all this other bull crap. Like, yeah, Ant's got some off-court issues, but he still plays. And I want guys that are going to be like
I've
that.
I've said it 100 times. I'd rather have baby mamas than fake injuries.
1,000%. Like, just give me a dude who hoops, man. And that's why we're going to talk about some draft picks here in a minute. This might even be a really good segue. Like guys like Darren Peterson makes me super nervous because, like, he is gaming the system to not play in games to protect himself, and he has ducked every serious contender that Kansas has played this year. Duke, he's ducked. He didn't play against Arizona the other night, though Kansas won that game without him. Like, he's ducked UConn. Like, there's been so many games that he has sat out for the flu or different things. The last thing we need on this team is another basket case / the basket case staying longer than he already has.
No, I don't think that I don't legitimately think that there's any way Ja Morant plays basketball for the Grizzlies anymore. I think that they just hope that the natural pattern holds true, which is you can get more for players in the offseason than you can at the trade.
Well, and you said it. You said it a couple weeks ago. Like, Ja benefits more than anybody in the world from out of sight, out of mind. And the last memories we have of Ja Morant playing this season were great. Previously were great. You don't get any, like, you can continue that benefit of the doubt without him going out and like having another major hip, shoulder, elbow injury. And this is it. Like I hear you, David Owens, but I'm sick of the emo stuff on social media. Like, he deletes his account just to repost it, reposting all bringing it back, reposting all these emo song lyrics and being alone and being in the dark and all this. And it's like, buddy, You're the only one that has put yourself in this situation. Like, mental health is a real thing, and I'm not disparaging that. But the reason you're alone in this forest is your fault. It's your fault.
Right.
If you just play basketball, we're not having this conversation.
No, I do. I've said many times on this show that I hope he is getting help. Lord, take him to church. I mean, that's what he needs. I mean, there's a way to get out of this funk, you know, get some perspective here. But, you know, I'm so sad about it. And I've said this before in regards to, you know, just the absolute heel turn that he's taken over the last, you know, month and a half. And the saddest part of it all, and this is where I'm kind of with David, is like, it sucks because like I've got family photos of me and all my kids like rocking jaw jerseys, me and my wife and three of our 5 kids at least, all in jaw jerseys. We went as Ja Morant for Halloween. We go to games. They love him. And that's the sad part is like, and that's the part that I wish that if I could get in a room with Ja, and I know this is a business to him and he has got to do what's best for him. But when you insulate yourself the way that Ja has, you lose sight of what the impact you have on others are as well.
Sure.
You're not just hiding yourself from them, but you're not seeing the good parts either. You're shielding yourself from negativity, but also the positive stuff of it. And you look at the city and the kids that's got his shoes and his jersey and what they mean to him, like it's hurting them. It hurts them
100%.
and
100%.
And that's totally aside of what I think the Grizzlies should do direction wise. I mean, you don't take that into consideration. Zach Clemens should not take that into consideration on whether or not he trades John to who he trades Ja to. That doesn't matter. Yeah. But it does matter. You root for players on teams, you know?
Yeah. Shout out Kendarius. You've been banging this drum for the last month. You know, you're wrong, but like you've been banging this drum, and I'm proud of you for standing on business. When Ja Morant is traded, that's a good segue. There's going to be a resetting of the guard as we start to see a whole new Grizzlies lineup. And there are players out there that I think we can go get. Over on FanDuel, the odds for the first overall pick in the NBA draft still sit at Darren Peterson, who we talked about earlier, at minus 290. AJ Debansta is at plus 370. Boozer plus 850. Those are the guys that are really in the race. Everybody else, starting with Caleb Wilson and above, are plus 10,000, Drew. There is a replacement in this draft that's going to be able to step in and be that guy for the Memphis Grizzlies to build around. We've talked about Peterson a little bit. Like, I want no part with Darren Peterson coming on this team based on how he's behaving and how we've been burned by Ja Morant. Am I wrong in that, or?
I don't think it for Grizzlies fans. Yeah, I have no problem with anybody saying that they don't want Peterson. It's kind of apples and oranges, but the symptoms are there. For Peterson, I can make an argument that he doesn't want to play in college. Like, college is not something that he intended on doing. If he was a one and done guy, he may be different. But you can't do that if you're the Memphis Grizzlies. I can't live that life again or continue to live that life of, is he going to play? What's wrong? He's obviously, I mean, this is a blue blood program. This is Kansas is, you know, they play in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. I mean, that is where
there's a lot of banners. There's a lot of banners hanging in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's where basketball was started. You know, James Naismith. Well, like everything about college basketball goes through Kansas, and you're getting paid handsomely, and so it's not like, oh, I'm having to play for free for a year, and you're postponing my ability to be a professional. It's like, he's getting paid handsomely, and he's still sitting out, and so like I'm out on him. I've said for years, I want to take a swing. I don't mind taking a swing at the most athletic dude out there. And if he turns out to be a bonehead, like and can't play basketball well, at least he can catch lobs and dunk, and the floor's pretty high. You know, hopefully he can defend and have a high motor and stuff like that. The Cedric Cowards of the world. You know, that's why I wanted Cedric Coward. That's where I'm at now. The Grizzlies have no wings. They have no athleticism outside of G.G. Jackson and Cedric Coward. Like, the team is devoid of athletes. And so I'll just want to go get the best athlete that I can get. And I don't care about position, don't care about anything else. When the Grizzlies take chances in the draft, they end up taking non-athletic dudes like Laravia and Roddy and
Jalen Wells.
Yeah. Go take a chance with the most freakish dudes you can find. And to me, if you get the number 1 pick, you take AJ DeBansta, and it's not even you just sprint up there. Like, I don't care about college stats really, but he is leading the NCAA in points. I just there's so much that goes into this. I really could make it really simple. The most athletic dude with the highest motor, get him. I don't care.
Yeah, agreed. And that's where we're at. Like, it does sound like Ja talking about Darren Peterson. Like, Ja, shout out Clay Lancaster. First time I've seen you in here. Appreciate you being here, man. Ja has shown he cannot stay healthy. Why would we keep him? Grizzlies need to move on to the offseason. And I don't think we need to move on to another player who has similar issues. Whereas Peterson may be a legit hurt, maybe legit sick, but it feels a lot like ducking games. We've been dealing with that for the last couple of years with who we have. Why not go get the guy from BYU who just shows up, laces him up, plays hard, plays athletic, scores a whole bunch of points, can jump out the gym, plays defense. Like, I've watched a lot more college basketball this year than I have the previous years, especially considering how bad Mississippi State is at basketball this year. But because the Grizzlies are clearly tanking for a draft, I want to know who our targets are and who these kids are. Everything I've seen from AJ DeBansta tells me he is going to be a really good NBA player. He is an uber athletic wing. He plays well with and without the ball, in space, in a phone booth, in the paint. Like, he's a guy that he could be a true 3-level scorer in the NBA. And that's what Tomas has said that we don't have. I think Cedric Coward is going to turn into that. And while, like, where would it hurt to have 2 of those guys, set of the 2, DeBansta at the 3, as 3-level scorers if you get some lottery luck?
Listen, what's not going to be talked about a lot when it comes up to draft, because we're going to be heavy on draft lottery, heavy on draft prep, scouting, everything else on the Bluff City Media Networks, because that's the only direction we have right now.
Yeah.
What's not going to be talked about enough is that this is a culture draft that you're drafting. This is a clean slate. You do not have the old heads anymore. You do not have Ja. You do not have Jaron. I'd be surprised if you have Santi or BC or, any guy that has any kind of tenure on this team. It is a culture draft. And when you look at the culture of this team with the players that will remain, you're looking at Edie, you're looking at Cam Spencer, you're looking at possibly Jalen Wells and Cedric Coward and Gigi. So you're trying to build a culture in this draft. You cannot draft somebody that shows signs of wishy-washiness. Like, you need, I like what Wayno said, although asking somebody to be like Cam Spencer is like finding a unicorn,
True.
Nobody actually is like Cam Spencer, in which he just has dreams at night. Like, he doesn't want a girlfriend because it distracts from basketball. Like,
no social media. No, he's in the gym 6 hours before tip shooting, where he's the only one in the gym. Like, those
the
are
lights
rare.
may be off, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, but I get that. I sympathize with that. That's what I want. Like, it's a culture draft.
And I think there are dudes like that in this draft. I think AJ DeBansta is one. I think Cam Boozer is one. I like Caleb Wilson. That dude seems to work really hard, has a high motor. He's super raw. For me, the perfect draft is getting, if we land in the top 5 or 6, we get Keaton Wagler from Illinois. He's just a killer. He slows the game down to his pace, but he can get in the open court, just a pure scorer. And then you go get a guy like London Borg, who we'll talk about later in the week, from Michigan, in that 3-4 kind of swing position. You're right. There's a lot of culture guys in here. Darren Peterson does not strike me as one. I don't think that Darren Peterson is going to be a guy that's going to be that. He has a lot of malcontent, dramatic, prima donna tendencies already that scare me. Now, he may end up being like just freaking amazing in the NBA and a culture guy, but what I've seen so far would make me really skittish if I'm Zach Kleiman to take him, especially, given Zach Kleiman's propensity to duke guys. It feels like Cam Boozer might be the pick.
He strikes me as a guy, talking about Peterson, to where if Utah or Sacramento, let's say Sacramento, wins the lottery, gets the first overall pick, he's going to be like, I don't want to go there. He's going to be the guy that's going to find, who's not going to be happy unless he goes to a certain place doing a certain thing. Like, I just don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. I want absolute Bulldogs. We talked about it year in and year out. Zach Kleiman's talked about it year in and year out, and every year we end up with less dogs. Like, you've got a chance with what should be a top 7 pick. to prioritize a pit bull, somebody that can build a culture around.
You got assets to go get another one. Say we get some lottery luck and we get DeBansta or Boozer with one of the first 3 picks in the draft. You have the assets to move up to that 7 to 10 range. And you want to talk about Bulldogs? Another guy we're going to talk about probably later this week or in the coming weeks, Darius Acuff Jr. from Arkansas. He's undersized a bit at 6'3", but he's a guy who plays way bigger. He's a Calipari guard that plays hard, plays aggressive. Got Arkansas players looking better than what they actually had. 31 points in that against Auburn on Saturday. That guy is a bulldog. And there's a world where we can go be like a top 3 or 4 pick, move up into the late lottery, say 7 to 10, and get an Acuff type player, get a London Borg type player that can be a guy that pivots this franchise.
Yeah, I saw Acuff in person. He's good. He's good.
Yeah. He's a little small. They list him at 6'3". I think that's him on his tiptoes at 6'3". But there again, you give me a guy with that kind of mentality, good things could happen. He's an absolute dog.
Do you think that stars don't trust our front office? Kendarius brought that up.
No, I don't. I think Kendarius is just talking.
I don't think John Morant trusts our front office, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
As a John Morant point of view goes, as far as a John Morant point of view goes, I don't think he trusts our front office. But no, our front office is not going to come out being the bad guy if they trade John Morant. No.
And just for the record, outside of Memphis, our front office is viewed very highly. It's Memphis fans, like other fans, Utah fans don't trust their GMs. Knicks fans don't trust their GMs. It's part of it. But if you look around the NBA, other people see our franchise, our front office as a good front office. And we don't know, Kendarius. Nobody has. That's a fair point. You can't really talk about it. We can't say, so-and-so. Nobody has, but I don't know that that's because they don't trust our front office. We weren't going to extend Jimmy Butler. There are a plethora of reasons here, but I don't think it's a trust thing.
I don't buy that. Listen, there's a lot of reasons why we haven't gotten a superstar to sign up in his prime to come to Memphis. And it's not because they haven't tried or that they think the front office sucks. It's because
shout out
Memphis is a small market.
Yeah. And Ja doesn't trust the front office, and we don't trust Ja. Shout out King Meeks here. That's for sure. Well, hey, that's all the Grizzlies talk we got for y'all today. We're going to hit a quick commercial break, and then we got to talk about the greatest season of all. Y'all stick around. If y'all watched our show on Friday, me and Jared dove deep on it, but we got some college baseball updates to go for y'all in the back half of this show. Stick with us after this commercial break. We'll be right back.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
On Reggie with Grade A Pest Control, we service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem. One of the major lessons that Penny's going to have to focus in on and work on is the recruiting aspect in the offseason of how he recruits. Not even how he recruits and who he recruits, but that he gets engaged early on in the recruitment process. Penny is not the recruiter for this team. Rick Stansberry for 2 seasons built the roster, and then Nolan Smith built the roster this year. But the majority of the roster, the last 5 seasons have been built by the assistant coaches, with Penny Hardaway kind of signing off at the end of it all. That clearly has to change. He needs to be more actively engaged in that. You can't be a CEO type coach that's not in the mud trying to recruit the players yourself. You've got to go out there and do it yourself. right? Find the guys that want to play for you. Find the guys that are guys that you can mesh with, philosophically.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
In Memphis, nothing comes easy, and that's exactly how we like it. This is a city built on hustle, on heart, on grit. And at Carway, our rides are built the same way. Tough, reliable, ready for the grind. No games, no gimmicks, just Memphis-style service. Real, honest, and built on trust. Where grit meets grind, you meet your next ride. Carway, grit, grind, and Pink Beetles.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the Two Bucks Sports Show. The Two Bucks finally reunited after a long break. And glad to be back here. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to FanDuel for having us. We're going to get to some baseball here real quick. But hey, before we do that, let me just pivot real quick. Did you watch any of the All-Star Weekend festivities?
I did. I watched some. of the little bit of the game last night. I saw some highlights. Didn't watch it live because yesterday was our anniversary, but I've seen enough to kind of have a feel for what's going on. Yeah.
I didn't watch any of the game last night. Like we did Valentine's Day yesterday. I didn't watch any of it. The 3-point contest remains to be the best thing that the NBA's got going for it right now. The dunk contest was fine.
Horrendous.
It was fine. But I got so irately mad when I turned on the Celebrity All-Star Game. And this is a sign of the times for me. I'm turning into an old curmudgeon because I will never respect streamers getting celebrity status. It's like every celebrity they had out there was like Richard Jefferson, the owner of the Suns, and like 25 streamers with Glorilla. And I was like, are we really as a society celebrating streamers? I was so mad over it.
Well, that, and then you got Shams Charania out there having the same success rate on his trades at the deadline as he was from the field, going 0 of 5, looking pitiful. Yeah, but just absolute asinine. Yeah. But hey, it gives us a good opportunity to play one of my favorite bumper videos because of what comes after it, Drew. So I appreciate that.
It's baseball season, college baseball season to be exact. And listen, this is the most enjoyable time of the year for me because baseball season comes with, especially early on during the season, there's not the stress that football puts on you where you play once a week, you have to win every game or your season's over and all this other kind of stuff. Baseball season's it's a long trek. It's, there's peaks and valleys and you're able to take them all in stride. And it's the most relaxing of the sports that I follow and I cherish greatly.
And it's fun, but it is fun to see like newcomers or casuals or brief admirers, like what's wrong with UCLA? They dropped a game this weekend, or Louisville's in trouble because they went 1-2. So like guy, it's February. Like this is early. Like the transfer portal, baseball more than any other sport, I think is impacted by the transfer portal because there's such a chemistry and such a playing togetherness that comes with baseball. I saw Mississippi State this weekend. A lot of these guys, it was their first time to play in front of 13,000 people, even though 99% of them were cheering for you. That's still a whole different animal. When I heard on a podcast this weekend that one of the Hofstra parents said they average 35 players or fans at their games. To go from that to 13,000, it's a whole different animal. But it's early, like you said. You can appreciate the game for what it is, see players play, knowing it's a long time until June.
Yeah. It's my favorite season of the year, I think, just from like a watchability and enjoyment. football gets me more amped up, for
Mhm.
obvious reasons. Baseball is just more fun. I'm able to enjoy it a lot more.
Sure.
Ole Miss swept Nevada, which won the Mountain West regular season championship last year, and had the Mountain West freshman of the year. I mean, they weren't scrubs by any means, not compared to Hofstra, but it is always fun because when we had season tickets, and my parents still have season tickets, we sat right above the visitors section. That's where our seats are, and it is so much fun to watch these out of town schools, non-SEC schools in particular, come to an SEC baseball game environment because they're like, oh, this is
David Owens here is saying, like, pivoting college baseball, it's not his thing. Apparently, he's an Auburn fan, so that tracks. If you're an Auburn fan, college baseball is probably not your thing. I mean, they were fine. They're going to be good this year, but like historically,
they've had multiple College World Series runs in the last decade. I mean, they were there when Ole Miss won it all in 22.
I would say, yeah, a couple of them, but I'm not saying.
And the SEC Player of the Year, Sonny DeShera was SEC Player of the Year a few years ago. The big fella, Sonny DeShera. Like, yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Auburn's good. There's no reason why you shouldn't cheer for Auburn baseball.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, they're a dark horse. There are a lot of people are picking them as a dark horse in the SEC and to make it to Omaha. We'll see. We got Carter, who's a Vol fan. That's another team to watch this year. It's interesting what the post Tony Vitello's regime is going to look like. A lot of people think they're still going to be really good. They're preseason top 15, both in Baseball America and D1 baseball, and rightfully so. They got a ton of talent. They were able to keep some people, but Tennessee is going to be a team to watch as they turn it over to a former assistant coach there with the Vols. We'll see what that looks like. Arkansas doing Arkansas things, dropping a game on opening weekend is always fun to see as well. Again, opening weekend doesn't matter. It's just fun to poke fun at David and Jared and stuff here. But again, Mississippi State went 3-0 on the weekend, like we talked about with your Rebels. Y'all beat Nevada. We beat Hofstra. I mean, they're not anything special. And you can watch that game and watch the series and go, oh, there's a lot of things that Mississippi State are going to struggle with and need to improve. There's a lot of things over here that Mississippi State did well. I could see that side of it as well. But like you said, Drew, it's early in the season. Appreciate it for what it is. You started 3-0. You can't win them all if you don't win the first three. And that's a good place to start.
I was really excited with how Ole Miss looked. Yeah, they've got in a bunch of transfers. They all played really well. The pitching staff looked really good. Your Ole Miss is returning like a fifth-year Friday night starter in Hunter Elliott, who is he was a freshman in 2022 and won a game in Omaha in the championship series. And so I would take a bullet for Hunter Elliott. He came back this year, and so. It all starts in the SEC with Friday night pitching, and if you can check that box, you feel really confident going forward. And I feel like Ole Miss probably has the best returning pitcher.
Mississippi State got a good one in Valinkas out of the transfer portal. I think he'll ultimately be our Friday night guy. He went out and just was dominant on Saturday afternoon in the 6-1 win. We also, in what feels like the first time since 2021 when Logan Tanner was behind the plate, we actually threw out a base runner trying to steal. Like, that has not happened in years since Logan Tanner went to the Cincinnati Reds in the 2021 draft. We threw out multiple runners this weekend, and I about had a heart attack. It was nice to see.
It's fun, isn't it? Because Ole Miss always has an arm on a catcher. It's a Mike Bianco. Mike Bianco's a former catcher. He will not have a team out there that doesn't have a laser arm for a catcher.
Yeah, Jared's here. They're not stressing about a one run loss to TCU, nor should you. TCU is the favorite to win the Big 12. They're a good baseball team. Yeah. Oklahoma came out of that tournament, though, this weekend, Drew, with wins over Texas Tech, wins over TCU, and who was the other one there? They just pummeled in the Shriners Children's College Slowdown.
Texas plays in that every year.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway, Oklahoma started the season 3-0 and some dominant wins. They beat that TCU team 12-2 on 13 hits. Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State was the other one. That's a strong start to the year for the Sooners for sure.
Yeah, I was trying to see. Okay, so Ole Miss goes to one of those. That's the only thing you look for in like the early season stuff is the neutral site game against Power 5 Conference. Ole Miss plays Baylor, Ohio State, and Coastal Carolina. That'll be fun.
Yeah, the CCU one.
First week of March.
I told you on Friday, that's one that I'm going to put some money on. At CCU at plus 2,700. They were the runner-up last year. They got better this year. I'm still believing that an SEC team is going to win until proven otherwise. But it'll be fun. Mississippi State plays in one of those.
Except Arkansas.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so Mississippi State plays in a tournament coming up out in Arlington, Texas against Arizona State, Virginia Tech, and the number 1 ranked UCLA Bruins. February 28th, or we play them on March the 1st, but it's the 27th, 28th, and the 1st. Big tournament out in Arlington. So a lot of fun things coming with college baseball. Along with, Drew, we also have the World Baseball Classic coming up this spring, which is always fun. Drew and I are big Patriots. You know, Drew has said on the show, it's Toby Keith, me and Drew, right where we are. You put the stars and bars on it, we're going to root for it. And we've got the World Baseball Classic coming up where the USA.
Me and my wife watched women's team curling last night as the U.S. took on China.
Absolutely. China. Absolutely. As USA is the odds-on favorite over on FanDuel at -115. Japan, obviously, right behind it, +410. The Dominican Republic, +460. And Venezuela, +750, Drew. It's just fun because you get a lot of the professional players that are playing in this. You know, Aaron Judge is leading the American team. Shohei Ohtani is going to be playing for Japan. There's just a lot of buzz around this in Arlington. Another opportunity for USA to go put on world dominance.
Yeah, as a man who has lost pretty much all of his Major League Baseball fandom over the course of the years, I love the World Baseball Classic. That ended last time with Shohei Ohtani pitching against teammate Mike Trout. Yeah. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, winning run.
Which was cool.
I mean, it was awesome.
Poetry.
Know? And so,
and I'm going to leave Kadarius's comment up this whole time real quick, just by the way. Go America.
Absolutely. Go America. And I'm guessing that Australia is not even going to be able to form a team. Now, what about New Zealand going?
Are y'all going to be there?
Inferior islands, countries.
They're too busy wrestling dingoes and chasing snakes away to come out and play baseball. They would think it was cricket, and they would think the ball should be rolling up to them at the plate instead of being thrown at them at 100 miles an hour.
Where's the wickets?
That's it.
No.
Oh, Drew, it's good to have you. Yeah, good to have you back, man. It's so much fun to talk sports with you. Good to be back. The Grizzlies will be back this Friday. We got a lot to talk about this week as we head towards that. We're going to talk about some college basketball prospects. We're going to talk about baseball. The Dingoes hate your baseball. No, that's the most Australian thing to ever happen. For sure, man. So anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? You've been on the shelf for 2 weeks, so I don't want to end the show without you having an opportunity to talk about something that's itching in your brain. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, my computer's not charging for some reason. It may cut me off here in a minute, but no, I appreciate Wayno, appreciate Kenny, anybody, Jared, who filled in for me. Thanks for being patient with me. Glad I was able to help my community. And, hated to leave y'all for so long. And hopefully, I've told everybody, I hope this is a once-in-a-lifetime storm, not a once-in-a-generation storm. Yeah. Because I don't know if I can do it again. It's been 32 years since the great ice storm of 94 that legend has always told us about growing up in North Mississippi.
Some of us lived it. Some of us lived it.
I was there, don't remember it. I don't know that I can. I hope this is not 32 years down the road, because at that point I'd be almost around retirement. And if I was still at work, I may just have to sorry, boss. I'm out.
I'm out. But that's going to do it for your Monday edition of the $2 Sports Show. Appreciate you hanging out with us, talking basketball, talking baseball, talking about just buffoonery and general tomfoolery. We'll be back tomorrow talking food, talking Grizzlies, talking some prospects, making fun of other countries that are trying to compete with the stars and bars in the Olympics and the World Baseball Classic. I'm looking at you, Wayno and Cohen, specifically. I think Mark Hall hops in here a lot from Europe. Looking at y'all across the pond, just know stars and bars, baby. Always.
Yeah. Absolutely. The Daytona 500 was yesterday.
Shout out Tyler Reddick. We are healing as a country. Shout out Tyler Reddick. Won me $100 in an office pool yesterday at the Daytona 500. Didn't lead any laps, except the one that matters.
I had the privilege of being able to explain the silent lap to my kids yesterday as we were watching the start of the Daytona 500. Everybody got quiet on the third lap and held the number 3 in the air. And they're like, why are they doing that? And I was like, let me tell you about the greatest American to ever live.
3-second pause right here, right now. 3-second moment of silence. Nothing more patriotic than the silent lap at Daytona that just gets you in the chills. Just like, oh my God, we're healing.
25 years later, and we're still doing it.
And Michael Jordan did get another ring. He got the win yesterday with Tyler Reddick. Yeah,
you never see that out of Michael Jordan, and he won his Daytona 500. His driver won a Daytona 500, and you thought that he had just hit another shot against the Cavaliers.
And what a wild finish it was, Drew, with the spin out, the wreck. Like, it was such a chaotic final lap that the only car that actually crossed the finish line heading in the right direction was the winning car, Tyler Reddick. Just an incredible Daytona 500 experience yesterday. All the things that you can want and hope from NASCAR, and Michael Jordan getting another ring. And hey, Wayno, like, it is what it is. You can call a spade a spade. Like,
we get to enjoy it.
We're calling a spade here. We're calling a spade here.
Penal Island.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's going to do it for the $2 Sports Show on this Monday edition. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, live right here on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. For Drew, I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate the comments. Ken Darius, King Meeks, David, Wayno, Clay, everybody that was here. Comments were popping today as usual. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, 11 a.m. Central, Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. In the meantime, go be a friend to someone who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. Happy Monday, everybody. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.